I had talked about the number of shootings in my community, and the shooters were teenagers. There are many teenagers with guns in my community, and they're not like these guns with a broken handle or something taped together to hold it together. These are brand new modern pistols. And I pointed out that in order for these guns to be obtained by youngsters, they had to know who the gun sellers, gun runners, gun dealers are. And if these kids know who they are, the police know. The U.S. Attorney knows. The Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives, that bureau knows. And Michael Heavican knows. And they look the other way, because the guns are being used in the black community by young black men against other young black men. And I've said those things on the floor of the legislature. I have a weekly television program in Omaha, and I said it on that program. I wrote to the head of the FBI, and nothing is done. How much time do I have, Mr. President?
Time, but you may continue, Senator, on your next slide.
Thank you, because while talking about a man who disregarded the law, I don't want to disregard the rules. If a drug dealer is going to make money, he or she must make it through volume, so people know who the drug dealers are. And when you have drug dealers plying their trade in a community, it's because the cops know, and either they've been paid off, bought off, or scared off. And drug dealers function in my community also. And we're not cops, we're not vigilantes. They're people sworn to uphold the law and enforce the law, and they're paid to do it, but they don't do it. And Michael Heavican knew it and took no steps to do anything about it. So my suggestion was that since the kids know who these gun dealers are, these gun sellers, then let the kids be the cops and make the arrest, because they know who they are and where they are. You think these cops don't know? You think they can't find out? They've got snitches for everything else. And that's the man who is the Chief Justice. Now, if I said this and he was not the Chief Justice, it'd be a whole hum. But now, because they put a gown on him and put a wooden hammer in his hand and lets him sit on a bench, all of a sudden he's beyond the realm of criticism. Not as far as I'm concerned, brothers and sisters, friends, enemies, and neutrals, because some of those may be out there watching. He's the man who said that even though a case was pending before the Nebraska Supreme Court, which might strike down the electric chair as being cruel and unusual punishment in violation of the 8th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, he said, by God, we set an execution date, burn him. That's how I feel, because he doesn't respect the law. He doesn't respect the nature of judicial work. He lacks a judicial temperament. He was put there by David Heinemann, who knew the lawless attitude of Michael Heavican, and appointed him there anyway. And Heavican carried to the bench what he was before he got there. Too bad Parson Carlson is gone, because he'd be familiar with the verse that talked about when somebody croaks. If a man is dirty, let him be dirty still. If he's righteous, let him be righteous still. If he was nothing before he got to the bench, he's nothing on the bench unless his conduct swerves from his pattern of conduct prior to when he became the Chief Justice. I don't tremble in front of badges and titles that some guy has. They call him Chief Justice, so that makes him somebody that I'm afraid of. Badges and titles mean nothing to me. You won't hear anybody talk about a Chief Justice who's in office in the way that I'm talking about this man, but I'm facting, not acting.